Kenya has experienced a major fuel shortage in the past 2 weeks in what the government has blamed on oil marketers who export fuel meant for the local market.
Lakini sasa kwa wakati huu hatuna gas kwa sababu hatuna fuel.
Ernest Wafula works at a petrol filling station along Nairobi's Valley Road and is among Kenyans who have been for the past few weeks been optimistic that the current fuel shortage crisis will end as soon as possible.
Kama hii gari hii basi kubwa imeshukisha watu kwa sababu imefika hapa kifikiria labda tuko na mafuta, hatuna, imesimia hapa. Sasa abiria wameshuka, wanatafuta tena jinsi ya mafuta tulikuwa nayo iliingia chana saa 6, imefika saa 5 leo ikawa sasa hatuusi kitu, imeisha.
Mimi dereva.
Godfrey Kariuki, a driver with a city public service bus, says work has been unstable for him, given that he is forced to leave his bus behind and carry jerrycans with him to a petrol station for fuel due to the unending long queues of fellow drivers seeking the precious commodity.
Biashara bado inaenda chini. Sasa tunauliza government juu wanaelekea kuongeza bei ya mafuta, watu angalie tu sana.
Energy Cabinet Secretary, who is also the acting Minister for Petroleum and Mining, Ambassador Monica Juma, accompanied by ministry officials, reiterated that the government through the Kenya Pipeline Corporation KPC has sufficient oil stocks which should last until June this year.
Over the last few weeks, there has been anxiety across the world, and Kenya has been no exception. And there has also been fear about disruption in the distribution of many products, including petroleum products. Fortunately, we have not been subject to any shortages and disruption in our supply chains in regards to our petroleum products.
In a lengthy press briefing at Kawi Complex in Nairobi, Juma accused some oil marketers who are holding the commodity of economic sabotage and warned that those who are unwilling to supply fuel should with immediate effect exit the Kenyan market.
We have determined that some players have been holding this product, presumably and probably speculating that on this day of the month, the 14th, as you all know, price reviews will provide them with a cash windfall. This government will not tolerate any entity or person that is causing distress, either by creating an artificial problem or stress. Any entity that is not ready, that is not able, that is not willing to work within the framework of the laws of Kenya is invited to vacate this market promptly.
Rubis Energy Kenya Managing Director Jean Christian is the first victim of the government's wrath after he was deported back to France on Wednesday night for fueling the crisis, given that Rubis has a huge share of the local oil market.
The Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, EPRA, has so far issued show-cause letters to those OMCs that failed to meet the required minimum operational stock levels.
The firm is accused of blackmailing the government by demanding higher compensation, yet a large consignment of its fuel stocks had reportedly been imported before global prices shot up.
The CEO Ruby departed the country last night.
According to the Petroleum Principal Secretary Andrew Kamau, the government will pay the remaining 14 billion shillings of the total 34.4 billion fuel subsidy that is owed to oil companies by the end of Tuesday, April 15th, in an effort to ensure there is a smooth supply of fuel across the country.
We have received the funds from the National Treasury. We're going through the administrative process. We'll pay either today, but if we're not able to meet the 3 o'clock deadline that is required from our banks, then we will do it on Tuesday morning.
We are going to allow the movement of tankers on a privileged basis starting later today. And we hope that we can do this in the next 72 hours to stabilize the supply across the country.
The Ministry of Interior is also working with the Energy Ministry in providing 24-hour security to oil tankers transporting fuel across the country in the next 72 hours. In a statement, police spokesperson Bruno Shioso asked local petrol stations to ensure the centers are well manned as tankers offload oil throughout the weekend.
We are in touch with the Ministry of Interior and have arranged for the provision of security both for the movement of the freight as well as for the retailing outlet.
Dickens Luvanda, Hope TV News Watch.